Yo dudes, how's it going? So today we're going to be going through my top 5 games of January. Now this is my top 5. It has absolutely nothing to do with yours or the best games at all. In fact, I'm sure there are plenty of other better games than what I'm going to choose. But these are my personal favorites that I'm looking forward to. So let's get into it. First one on the list is going to definitely be Resident Evil. Now, you're probably thinking, why is Resident Evil all the way at the bottom of number 5? Well, that's mostly due to Capcom's fault. Resident Evil 6 was disappointing in my opinion. Um, I can't say Resident Evil 5 was disappointing, mostly due because me and a friend of mine definitely went through that game more times than it was probably needed to go through. Um, the other games have been mostly great. 6 put a really sour taste in my mouth, and Revelations, the first Revelations was okay. Second one, I personally, honestly, haven't even been able to get through. I got through the first 2 chapters, 2 episodes, and it was very underwhelming. Um, I'm hoping Resident Evil 7 will bring back the love for the series, but I'm honestly kind of doubtful. I'm on a weird border of I'm hyped for this, but at the same time I'm not. There hasn't been much gameplay footage. The only footage or anything we have is from the demo, and we've already heard numerous times that the demo has nothing to do with the actual game itself, supposedly. So, just kind of going half and half on this one. I'm excited, you should be too, but I wouldn't get my hopes up on this. Not with Capcom. Not with how they've been treating the series anyways. Look forward to it still, though. Moving on to number 4. So number 4 is a bit of a oddball, and I'm sure some people, actually, not most. Some people will probably already know this game was released on Steam last year in, I believe, July. So it's about 6+ months old. It's pretty old. I honestly didn't think it would get a console adaptation, but it looks like it has. Once again, kind of on the border kind of thing. I love the Ruby animation. It's not an anime. It's animation. It's made by Rooster Teeth. So it's a great series, but the gameplay looks kind of like mediocre. I hate to use that word, but it definitely looks underwhelming at first glance. But when you play certain games that are based on like TV shows and movies, you're not playing them for the graphics. You're not playing them because they're up to date or anything. You're playing it because you love the series, and I love the series. So I definitely look forward to diving into it. It has its own story that partially apparently connects to the animation. So I look forward to seeing that. I don't think it's completely up to date. I don't think it's like, like picks up where it left off on the last season or something like that. But I definitely know it's part of the actual story. So I do look forward to that. It's got 4-player co-op. I'm going to have a hard time finding 4 people to play with, or 3. Maybe 1. Maybe 1 or 2. But that's about it. It looks like a fun, just little beat 'em up, just go through the levels and play and have fun. So, I look forward to it. Moving on to number 3. Now, number 3 has a bit of a, probably controversial with a lot of people. Probably almost no one's even heard of this coming out. It was very lightly announced back in, I believe, October or November, by Bandai Namco. It's made by a publisher that I don't even know, or a game company that I don't even know. So I have no idea if it's going to be worthy of the combat. But just looking at the gameplay, it looks exactly like they tried to adapt from the original Sega and SNES versions of the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers side-scrolling beat 'em up. About the same thing. It is only 4 players. Oddly, I thought that they might try to push it to 5, at least, for the original 5 Rangers. I didn't expect to see 6-player co-op. That'd be intense, though. And in fact, that might have sold this game a little bit better, but I can only imagine the issues of trying to get more than 4 players in there. I I look forward to it though. I love me my Power Rangers games. I love me my side scroller games. So I just look forward to it. Looking forward to some Mighty Morphin action, and yeah. Moving on to number 2. Coming in at number 2 is going to be Dragon Quest VIII. Personally, I love Kira Toriyama artwork, and that includes all of the video games that are based on that, including Dragon Quest, Chrono Trigger, and I believe there's a couple others. But Dragon Quest series has always been a great RPG series that both me and my cousins have just stuck to. It's just staple. Great RPG series. Personally, haven't been able to beat the second or third game, sadly. Mostly just due to the I don't want to have to emulate it to play and beat it. The first game I decided to put on an emulator and just go at it. I tried purchasing it on an Android app, and that thing just didn't want to work. Unfortunately, none of my older consoles, my NES, does not work. I know I could probably just head over to my cousin's and probably play it there, but I don't believe that they have a working copy of 2 or 3. But moving on from that, Dragon Quest VIII is actually going to have 2 new playable characters. Yes, 2 new. The game was built from the ground up, so it might look exactly the same, but it was completely remade for the 3DS. Now, these 2 playable characters are only playable after you beat the game, and here comes my other issue, my one issue with the game that I'm going to have. A certain female protagonist had a lot of costumes that were kind of lewdish back in the day. It shouldn't bother 90% of people. Censoring, that's a video for another day. I believe that they were talking about how some of her costumes were either removed or censored. Now, if that's the case, I'm honestly going to be a little angry, because censoring just purely for the States is just something that I do not take very well, because I find it ridiculous. I don't see any reason why a male in any video game can rip off his shirt and have an 8-pack versus a woman that shows her breasts a little bit, or a leg, and that's for some odd reason any different. It's not any different. It's not like saying that, okay, nope, I'm going too deep. Enjoy the slime. Enjoy the slime. Poke, poke. Moving on to number 1. Now, for number 1. Now, if anyone understands me or knows me very much, they know that I love the Kingdom Hearts series. Beaten the first game about 5 or 6 times, beaten the second game about 3 or 4, and then the other ones I've only beaten once or twice. That's mostly due to the fact that everything after Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, or in between, was all kind of just meh. It's mostly, to me, was all filler. You could almost say. It's not really filler, just side points of the story that we didn't really need to get dragged out. I've beaten Recoded, I've beaten the 358 Days 2 times. That was fun. Birth by Sleep I've beaten a couple times. That was a great game. Forgive me for not really saying too much about the game series, purely because this series is completely based on story. It's all story. Anything you say can completely just ruin a lot of things for it. So the only thing I can say is that 2.8 actually is a remake of Dream Drop Distance for the 3DS. Now, I didn't finish that, mostly due to, for some odd reason, I just couldn't stand the controls on the 3DS. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was the weird Dream Eater Pets thing that threw me off. I don't know if the controls were just really terrible or not very comfortable on the 3DS. But I just couldn't get through it. I think I got halfway through the game and I just couldn't do it. So I look forward to playing this on an actual console with a controller and really pushing my way through. But the main reason people are playing 2.8 or are going to buy it is basically for the glorified demo / mini prequel of Kingdom Hearts 3. And that's going to be a side story with Aqua, which is the character right here. not going to spoil it, but it is a side story with her from Birth by Sleep. It should pick up right after Birth by Sleep, or it should pick up after 2, supposedly. This game is not really going to be based around Sora. It's going to be based around pretty much everything else, including him. Just for once, Sora is not the main character for anything you'll be playing in this game. But I look forward to all the story that I'm going to get out of this, and trust me, I'm going to enjoy it. I'll probably do a Let's Play, actually, and just enjoy the crap out of it. But anyways, guys, that's pretty much it. That's my top 5 games for January. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get all of them. I guarantee I'm going to get Dragon Quest VIII and Kingdom Hearts. I want to get the Power Rangers game just because it's cheap. It's only $15. Resident Evil 7, I'm probably honestly going to skip. At least until I see reviews, at least until I see some of my friends go through it that are looking forward to it. I need to see a lot of stuff come out of that before I put $60 down on Capcom. And as far as Ruby goes, I'll get it when I can. That's going to be put on the list of need to get when I have the extra money. But unfortunately, I don't have any extra money for a random 4-player co-op game that I don't have 3 other people to play with. At least Power Rangers I can enjoy because it's just a side-scroller beat-em-up, and I can enjoy those for days. So, anyways, guys, like the video, comment below, talk about what your favorite top 5s are, and subscribe if you're new. And yeah, take it easy, dudes.